Hi everyone, Dani here, and welcome to Spenelli Speaks. Today is another Friday Reads, and I apologize about my hair and my appearance. No makeup, wet hair. It's been a day. I ran errands all morning, which was the pharmacy, the banks, the Costco, which was really busy for a just opening. Like I got there right after they opened and it was insane. And people are so impolite at stores like that. I've noticed like Costco and Aldi, any store that like is one of those not really a browse, like I wouldn't consider those stores browsing stores. You like go in because you're gonna get certain things, but they're not like a Target where you can go in and just like enjoy yourself. No, these are like get in, get out of my way kind of stores. And I don't like that because I do want to see what's all there. And I always end up having to take my kids with me. So I've got two kids in the cart. So I'm trying to be like nice, and I'm always really polite, like, oh, and but there's always people everywhere. Costco is crazy. And there weren't even samples at this time in the morning. So I mean, it was not so. But anyways, so that I was like sweating, took a shower. I'm still sweating. So I apologize for the wet hair and appearance. But we're here to talk about books. So it doesn't matter what I look like, right? Anywho, I want to thank everyone for the kind messages and well wishes regarding last week. If you saw on my Friday Reads, I was on my way to take my son to a procedure he needed, and everything went very well. He's healing very nicely at home. It was nothing major, nothing to worry about. And like I said, he's doing very well. So I appreciate all of you so much. Thank you all for your kind messages. It's very much appreciated. It really fills my heart. So thank you very much for that. Also, in last Friday Reads, you know that I was just about to finish Blackbird Oracle by Deborah Harkness. This is the 5th book in the All Souls series. And I did finish that, so I am happy to report that I was able to return all of the books to the library on time. And I gave that book 5 stars, as I have given all the books beside Times Convert, which is the 4th book. For some reason, that one just did not hit me very well. I just felt like it was very much a throwaway. I did, I think, still give it 3 or 4 stars, but all of the other books have been 5 stars for me. This book in particular, I really enjoyed because it was giving us something new. And when I say that, I mean we get to meet Diana's father's side of the family, so the Proctors. And we had not known anything about them from the first couple of books. What we had learned was that there weren't any people on her father's side of the family, that he was pretty much it. There was no one to speak of, and Diana simply had her aunts. Well, that is not the case. There are a whole huge family reunion size amount of Proctors that she gets to know in this book, which is and was amazing, especially because we get to learn about a whole new side of magic. So the reason why this part of the family was kind of hidden from her is because of their affiliation with the higher magics, which some witches believe are evil because they deal in darkness. But darkness isn't necessarily evil, as we learn in this book. I really enjoyed learning more about different kinds of magic. And I do apologize if there's a lot of background noise because our street, like everyone's getting their roof done, driveways done. It's been very loud lately. But anywho, I really liked getting to know a different side of magic, and that there are different levels of magic, or that each witch has kind of her own or their own affiliation. So some may be to the earth, air, wind, fire, but then we also have these weavers that we learned about in the first 3 books, as well as higher magic, the dark arts, if we want to get silly. But what I really enjoyed is that we see Diana kind of not become a different person, but become more of herself, a more whole, more well-rounded, motivated witch. And I think what we see in her is that she's a witch, but she doesn't really use her magic. She feels more like it's a practicality for her to just be human. And I thought she had overcome that in the first three books, but realistically, she really didn't. She kind of just used it as a means to an end, I feel, to, you know, save herself, save Matthew, save her children, or soon to be children. And yet in this book, we see the Proctors use it in everyday use because magic is who they are. They are witches. That is what they were meant to be. So you see her really coming into an understanding of like, this is who I am. And it's not that I'm, you know, using magic because I don't want to do the human thing, which would be to just simply heat up the water, but I'm using magic because it's who I am. And she comes to terms with that. Now, the one thing I would say that I did not enjoy in this book is I felt that there was a real fracture between her and Matthew. I feel like they are constantly being tested as far as their devotion to one another, and not like they love each other, but it's like they are constantly having to deal with like acceptance of one another's darkness. And it, to me, it was like, it was old news. It was like beating a dead horse. It was so, I'm over that. Like, can't we just, I just don't want to see any friction with them because I feel like they've been through so much that it's exhausting that every time we come to find them, they're always like something is in their craw. You know what I mean? Like, it just, so that was irritating. And I know every marriage ebbs and flows. You have your moments where you disagree, and it's how you come together and compromise or accept one another or whatever it is that's important. But to me, I was just like, this is taking up a lot of time in this book, and I want to like go on to other things. So that was, I think really that was my only criticism. But I will say I had no idea how this book was going to end, and it really didn't. It really just ended on a huge like cliffhanger that I did not realize that there were more books coming, and I think there's a lot more. I think there are many more books to come, which is fantastic, but at the same time, when you're not expecting that, I was really shook by the end because it was like, my book was 444 pages, and I was on page 442 going, how can this finish in 2 pages? Yeah, it didn't. So if you were looking for any kind of conclusion, not happening. This is a beginning of something great. So, that was a really long description of the book. I apologize if you have not read it and you are not looking for spoilers, but I am a spoiler queen, I think. So, anywho, that's what I finished this past week. And then I took a couple of days off and really just did not read. I started to read maybe 2 days ago, back in that Blue Asylum book that, if you recall, I've been really slow reading that lately. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish that here in August so that I can start September fresh. I won't have any books that I've been sitting on. And I'm going to probably participate in Shorty September. I do have a couple books that I've decided that I may read. They're really more of a pile of possibilities. And I'll show you those now. I may touch C.S. Lewis's The Screwtape Letters. William Shakespeare's Macbeth. I don't think I've ever read Macbeth. I obviously know the story, but I've never actually read the play. And I think, do they still do Shake, is it called Shake Two for Shakespeare? So maybe I actually will participate in more than just Shorty. Even Frome by Edith Wharton. did I say? Yeah, Ethan and Edith. Did I say that right? Yeah, Edith Wharton. I have not heard anything about what this story is about, but I have heard people talk about it as far as like something that they've read. It's a short one, so I figure I should probably find out what that's all about. And then this will be a reread for me, and I will probably read this with a buddy. But this is John Steinbeck's The Red Pony. This is one of my favorite of Steinbeck's. It's super, super short. It's like 100 pages. But I'm going to reread that. I read it a long time ago when I was still in primary. And feel like rereading it because I did enjoy it so much. The egg scene is always in my head, if you know what I'm talking about. If you know, you know, kind of thing. Besides not reading, I did start to rewatch the AMC adaptation of Discovery of Witches. And in rewatching it, so funny. So the first time I watched it, I was watching it in real time when it was coming out as a show. And so I had to wait every week to get it. And then when the new season, yada, yada. Well, rewatching it in the binge version, because now it's on Netflix, after just rereading the books, there are so many discrepancies that have just completely irked me to the core. Like, I have talked to some friends about it, and I'm just getting really heated, and it just is bothersome, but it's me as a reader. Is the show fantastic? Absolutely. I love the show. It's so aesthetically pleasing. I love who they picked for Matthew, which is Matthew Good. He's fantastic in the role. Teresa Palmer does a great job as Diana Bishop. I love the actress who plays Sarah Bishop. I really love the casting. The casting is fantastic. My criticism is, and I know that when you adapt a show, you have to make it available to all viewers, even people who did not read the book. So it has to make sense for them, and it has to be intriguing for them. I, as a reader, don't like when they completely make up full-on scenes that are not in the book. So I don't care what Juliet is doing. I don't care what Satu is doing. I don't care what Peter Knox is doing. They come into the book and should come into the show when they are meant to, not entire scenes and entire storylines soaking up screen time. I mean, these seasons are only 8 episodes long, and you're taking all of this screen time away from people who I'd rather be seeing and relationships being built. Instead, I get these characters who are so minute. And yes, they are powerful and important characters, but they don't appear in the books until they are meant to, and they're just soaking up so much airtime. And they really changed Satu in the show. They really gave her way more screen time, and they like changed her whole background, really. So I really didn't like that, and I feel like they made Diana a lot less intelligent in the show than she is in the book. They really make her completely clueless, and though she is unaware of a lot of things, she isn't dumb, and she can make it through most of what is thrown at her without being completely mystified. And there's a lot. So if you have read the books and you watched the show, please comment below. Were there any discrepancies in the show that you were like irked as much as I am? I mean, I'm really I was fuming. But again, the show is great. The show is fantastic. It is a very well done piece. But as a reader, especially one who just reread the series, I was just like, why did you do that? Why did you do that? So that's me. I have talked for way too long at you. So I'm going to end it here. Like I said, I finished Blackbird Oracle. I am currently reading, and will probably finish this week, the Blue Asylum. And then as we get into Shorty September, I have those couple of books. Plus the DoubleBookedCo book that I will start next week during our live reading sprints on the 3rd, which is Tuesday. Nora Roberts' The Reef. So that's not a shorty, but that's what our book club picked for September. So Nora Roberts' The Reef. So if you're interested in reading that, please join us over on DoubleBookedCo's channel. And yeah, that's all. I hope you're reading something fantastic. Let me know in the comments. Hope you're taking care, staying safe, and as always, you know how it goes.